Hi there, my name is Emily Berry, and I will be guiding you through a short 15-minute Vinyasa yoga class. This is designed for anybody. It should be accessible to beginners. If you are more advanced, hopefully this gives you some grounding, some calming. Pretty basic here. We'll be doing some spinal twisting, getting your spine moving, getting your blood flowing, and just hopefully grounding, calming, just taking some time during this crazy time in the world to be present and to connect with yourself. So before we begin, if you have yoga blocks available, go ahead and grab those. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can also use cans. You could use like a thick paperback book. These props can just help with bringing the floor up a little bit higher. It helps with maintaining proper alignment in certain postures. If you've got tight hamstrings, for example, it can bring the floor up a little bit closer to you. So if you don't have any props available, that's also okay. So we'll just use what you have or nothing at all. We are going to begin in a comfortable seat. So hopefully you're in a nice quiet space where you can just spend about 15 minutes alone. If you want to put on a little music, some meditation music, you're welcome to do that as well, or just be here with the silence. And we are going to start in a comfortable seat. So let's close our eyes here and cross your legs. Your hands can rest on your thighs. And just quiet your thoughts. Slow your breath. Deepening your inhales. Feeling your chest rise as you bring in that fresh air. And slow your exhales, releasing, emptying out. Just noticing the rhythm of your breath, your inhales filling up, your exhales, slow release, emptying out. Maybe begin to lengthen your breath here, finding a count as you inhale. Count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top for a moment. And exhale, release for 4, 3, 2, 1. Finding that nice rhythm, the length of the inhale matching the length of the exhale. Maybe that 4 count isn't your number. Maybe you're at a 3 or a 5 or a 6, just finding your number and working with that. And as you're breathing here, finding that slow rhythmic movement, I want you to ground down through your sits bones. Envision your spine, and that point, your sits bones connecting to the earth. And then from your sits bones up through your tailbone, each of your vertebrae stacking one on top of the next, and sending that energy up through the crown of your head. And your shoulders are down and back. Your chest is lifted, your belly is toned, belly button hugging in towards your spine. Not necessarily a contraction, just a mindfulness, an engagement. And with yoga, the most important thing is just to listen to your own body. Everything I say, I offer is just a suggestion, so if it's not working for you, just stay with what is working for you. We never work into pain, and we're just looking for a sensation here. Let's take one more breath. Inhaling, filling up. Exhale, slow release. Now keeping that stack of your spine, keeping your shoulders exactly where they are, just drop your chin down and towards your chest. Slowly as you exhale here. Rounding in. And as you inhale, lift your chin up. Lift your eyes to the sky. They can still be closed, but feel that openness through the front of your throat. And the exhale, chin drops down to your chest. Just feeling that stretch through the back of your neck. Inhale, lift your chin up. And exhale, drop it down. One more time. Inhale, chin lifts, stretching through the throat. And exhale, drop it down. If you like, you can gently open your eyes. We'll just find some simple neck rolls. So drop your ear over to one shoulder, and then let your chin trace along your collarbone. Just rounding through the neck, feeling that opening. And just dropping ear to shoulder. Chin comes forward, ear to other shoulder. Just a few times here. Feeling that opening through the neck. And gently bring your head back to center space. We're just gonna make our way forward. Come up and over your knees, finding a tabletop position. So stacking here, your wrists are right beneath your shoulders. Your knees are right beneath your hips. Your belly is active, that spine is long. Energy extending through the crown of your head once more here. Moving into some cat-cows. As you inhale, lift your heart up, lift your tailbone up, finding that nice arch through your spine. And as you exhale, reverse the movement, drop the crown of your head, drop your tailbone down, gaze up towards the thigh creases. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, curl in. One more cycle, inhaling and exhaling. Return to neutral spine. We're gonna find some circles over our wrists. So keeping that spine nice and neutral, just begin to rotate your body over your wrists. Either direction here, we're gonna go both ways. Just slowly circling, hips circling, shoulders circling, just warming into the wrists. Now find the other direction, about 3 circles each way. And find that center space. Move your hands forward, just about a palm print. Curl your toes under, really ground into your hands, press your hips up, find a downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, your body is in an inverted V shape. Your feet are about hip distance. Your knees are pointing straight down. The crown of your head is heavy. Maybe it feels good to bend into one knee and then the next, pedaling into your legs, feeling that opening through the back sides of your legs. And check in with your hands here. Spread your fingers really wide, pressing each of your knuckles down into the mat. Just moving in any way that feels good. Breathing here. Sometimes it feels good to shake your head, yes and no. Moving into the neck. Find some stillness in those legs. Inhale, lift your heels high, bend your knees, and as you exhale, gently walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Let your feet be parallel and hip distance. And your body's gonna hang over your thighs here. Ragdoll pose. Let your elbows grab onto your your hands grab onto your opposite elbows. As you just find a gentle sway side to side here. Maybe you're bending deeply into your knees, making this pose a bit more accessible. And the weight is in the balls of your feet, not in your heels. So draw your weight forward just a little as you sway. And release your hands. On an inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Find a halfway lift. Extend the crown of your head forward. Find a nice neutral spine through the belly. And exhale, fold into your legs. From here, plant your left palm in the center of your mat. It might be helpful to grab one of your cans or your block. Just brings the floor height up a little higher. So your left palm is planted right in the center of your mat. Bend deeply into your left knee. Inhale, peel your right arm to the sky, finding a nice twist here. So your right hip crease is pressing back, your right shoulder is peeling back, and you're really grounding into that left hand, feeling a stretch through the outer side of your right leg. One more breath. And release to the other side. And your right hand to center. Deep bend into your right knee. Inhale, lift that left arm to the sky. Exhale, release. Move your block or your can or do whatever out of the way. Heel toe your feet into touch. Your big toes touch. A little space between your heels. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise to stand. Now exhale, release your hands to your heart. Samasthiti. Let your eyes close here for a moment. Find your breath. Those inhales matching the length of the exhales. Slow, fluid rhythm. We'll move through 2 sun salutations. This first one I'll guide you through. I'll offer some modifications. If you know the full variation and you'd like to go there, just start with the full expression of your sun sal. Inhale, extend your arms to the sky. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands at the top of your mat. Step your feet back, find a high plank pose. Option to drop down to your knees here for some more support. Find an inhale here. On an exhale, bend your elbows, hug them into your side bodies, drop all the way down to the mat, find your belly. On an inhale, peel your chest forward, baby cobra. Exhale, release forehead to the mat. Curl your toes under, press your hips up, make your way into your downward facing dog. 2 cycles of breath right here. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, and exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. On an inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, fold into your legs. Inhale, press to feet, rise tall. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment here. Now remember, that is our modified version. If that suited you, find that sequence again. But I will guide you through the full expression. It's a bit more challenging. Inhale, 2 arms, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, high plank pose. Grounding into your palms here. Heels stacked over toes, belly hugged in, rib cage knitting together. Inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows, drop down just to 90, chaturanga. Inhale, heart. Peels forward and through, upward facing dog. 10 toenails pressing into the mat, thighs lifted up. Exhale, press your hips back, downward facing dog. 2 cycles of breath. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, make your way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. A little different this time. You're going to take a step to the back of your mat with your left foot. Let your left knee drop down, coming into your Anjaneyasana low lunge pose. This is another opportunity for your blocks. You can use them to frame your foot. You're just going to sink here into those legs, feeling that stretch in that back left hip flexor. But you want to be engaged as well. So scissoring inner thighs together. Your front knee is stacked directly over your front ankle. Maybe you drop your chin down, tuck it into your chest here. Breathing. You're going to find a simple twist. So ground into your left palm. Find that engagement through the 2 inner thighs. Inhale, peel your right arm to the sky. And as you're here, I want you to think about drawing that right hip back in space. Gazing up, that right shoulder is stacked on top of the left. Breathing, gaze. Exhale, release, 2 hands to frame your foot. Now straighten through your front leg, coming into a half splits pose. So your 2 hips are stacked over your back knee. You're gonna bring your right toes to flex towards your nose. If you have your blocks, maybe you wanna lift them up to a higher level. You've got 3 options. Inhale, find some length in your chest and your spine. Exhale, fold as much as you like over that front straight leg. I'm feeling a deep stretch through the entire back side of your right leg. Your right toes are flexing strongly towards your nose. Let's rebend into our front knees. Curl your back toes under. Straighten through your back leg. This is your high lunge pose. Your fingertips are still framing your front foot. And this is just a bit more active. Puffing up through the back of your left thigh. Your hamstring is engaged. Your thighs are still scissoring toward one another. From here, we're going to find another twist. Maybe you have your block beneath your palm. Maybe your palm stays on the floor. It's that left palm that stays grounded. It's an inhale that reaches your right arm up to the sky. Same thing here. That right shoulder is stacked on top of the left. That right hip is peeling back. Really engaging through that left hamstring, the back of the knee pressing to the sky. One more breath. Exhale, release, 2 hands to frame your foot. Now you might want to take a little step in with your back foot. You're going to straighten your front leg for a wide leg pyramid pose. Once again, blocks might be nice here. 2 blocks on either side of the foot. Now you can flex through those front toes. I'm not sure if you can see my toes in this video, but you can flex through your front toes so your heel is the point on the mat. And 2 options. With your back foot, you can have your back foot down, your heel planted, or you can be on your back toes, heel stacked over those toes. And the goal in this pose is to keep your 2 hips square. You want a nice flat low back. You want a nice long spine. You're just folding any amount over that front leg. And this might be your spot. This might be where you stay. But if you would like a little more, we'll find a twist from here. Ground into your left hand. Inhale. Peel your right arm to the sky. Same thing. Right shoulder stacked over left. Really grounding into that planted palm. Feeling that those inner thighs drawing toward one another. Deep inhale. And exhale, release. Bend into your front knee. Plant your 2 palms. We're just going to swing your right leg back behind you, coming into a downward facing dog, 3-leg dog. So send that right leg up to the sky. Option here to bend your knee, open your hip, and find any rolls that feel good. Your ankle, just kind of wiggling out that right leg. And exhale, release into your traditional downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, feet come to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And we'll flow through the other side. Inhale, 2 arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, 2 hands are planted. Your right foot steps back. Low lunge, other side. So it's that left knee, this time stacked over left ankle. Scissoring of the inner thighs. Pressing into the hips, feeling that opening through the right hip flexor. Maybe from here you tuck your chin in. Just breathing into the stretch. Option for those blocks here as well. And we're going to find our twist. So you're gonna plant down through your right palm, find that scissoring of your thighs. On an inhale, reach your left arm up. You're pulling that left hip back, pulling that left shoulder, stacking it over right. One more breath. Exhale, release. 2 hands, frame your front foot. Moving into our half splits pose. Press your hips back, straighten that left front leg. Your 2 hips are stacked over your right knee. Your left toes come to flex strongly towards your nose. Inhale, find some length in your spine. Exhale, fold over that leg any amount. Deep stretch through the hamstring, through the calf. Nice long spine. Heart is reaching towards your toes. Bend your left knee. Curl your back toes under. Find your high lunge. So straighten that right leg. Remember, pressing the right hamstring, the right back of your knee towards the sky. Those inner thighs peeling toward one another. So that left hip crease pressing back in space, right hip crease drawing forward. Moving into our twist from here, ground into that right hand. Inhale, left arm peels up. That back heel is stacked on top of your back toes. One more breath. Exhale, release, hands frame your foot. From here, that back foot steps in just a little. Wide leg pyramid pose. So you're straightening your left leg, and you've got your options. You can either have your left toes planted, you can bring your left toes to a hover. Same thing with your back foot. Your back heel can swivel down, planted, or your back heel can be lifted up over your toes. Either way, you want your 2 hips square to the mat. So that's gonna be your right hip drawing forward, your left hip pressing back. From here, you're either staying, if you did that on the first side, or twisting one more time. Ground into that right palm. Inhale, lift your left arm to the sky. Exhale, release. 2 hands frame your foot. Bend into your back knee. Move your props out of the way. Ground into your palms as they frame your foot. Left leg swings back. 3-leg downward facing dog. That back knee is bent. Finding those rolls, those circles. Ankles, hips, knee. And exhale, release. Left foot to the mat. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths. And slowly articulate your way into a high plank. So bringing those shoulders to stack over your wrists, dropping your hips so they're in line with your shoulders. 1 deep breath right here. Inhale, feel that strength. And exhale, bend your elbows, drop down to your belly. Let's see, I think I need to adjust the camera. Okay, so we're on our bellies here. Sorry, hold tight. Just breathing on your belly. Okay. Breathing here. Bring your 2 palms, plant them right by your shoulder heads. All 10 of your toenails grounding into the mat. We're just gonna find a baby cobra here. Inhale, peel your heart up. Little to no weight in those hands. Shoulders drawing down and back, long through the back of your neck. Exhale, release, forehead to the mat. 1 more time, back bend of your choice. This time, if you wanna lift up a little higher, you're welcome to do so, pressing into your palms. Maybe straightening just a bit more into the arms. Breathing. Exhale, release. From here, take your right arm and bring it out to a goal post. So your arm is going to be at a 90-degree angle right out from your shoulder, and it's planted on the mat. And then you're just going to roll over onto your right hip. This is going to be a nice stretch through your pec, through your chest. So rolling onto the right side. Breathing. Release to center, and we'll just do that on the other side. So your left arm comes out to 90, elbow straight out from the shoulder. Roll over onto your left hip. Feeling that nice opening, that stretch into your pec, your chest. Release to center. Ground into your hands. Press your hips back. Find a child's pose. So your hips are pressing back, your palms are reaching forward. Let your forehead come to rest on the mat. Just breathing. Inhale, slowly rise up. Just an easy transition here to a comfortable seat. And I want your legs straight out in front of you. This is called a Paschimottanasana. We're a little crooked here, sorry. Okay. So, straight shot of the toes. Flex your feet, straighten your legs, ground down through those sits bones. Inhale, extend your arms up. Then exhale, reach towards your toes, any amount. And I want you to find length in your spine. I don't want you curling in, but lifting through your heart. And exhale, folding in as much as you can, as much as feels good. Inhale for length. Exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly rise. Bring the soles of the feet together. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold over your legs. This is a Baddha Konasana. Your feet can be in close to your groin, or they can be out a little farther. If they're out farther, it stretches deeper into the outer hips. If they're in closer, it gets more into the low back. Inhale, rise up. And you're gonna send your feet forward. Your knees will be bent. Your feet are parallel and hip distance. We're just gonna slowly recline, making our way onto our backs. Bring those heels in as close to your hips as you can. Maybe your fingertips reach down to touch. And we're gonna find a bridge pose. Ground into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Option to bring your hands to clasp beneath you and then shrugging your shoulders in toward each other. Finding just a bit more space through your chest. Really grounding into your feet, lifting those hips. Breathing. Exhale, release. Let your feet separate to mat distance. Knees come in toward each other. Then just let your legs rock from side to side to find some release through that low back. And from here, hug your knees into your chest, send your feet to the sky, and then grab on. Maybe it's your ankles, your toes. Happy baby pose. You're drawing your knees down towards the mat outside of your rib cage and just rocking gently. Then you want to think about your low back, pressing it into the mat as you rock from side to side. Release the grip of your legs. Send your legs up to the sky. Waterfall pose. Straight legs, feet flexed. Just getting those feet up above the heart. Reversing the flow of the blood. Calming the nervous system. 2 breaths right here. And when you're ready, letting your legs drop down. Letting them straighten out. Arms releasing to your sides, palms are facing up. final resting pose here, Shavasana. Your palms are to the sky, your legs are out, toes splayed to the sides. And the goal here is to find rest, to find calm and peace. Try to quiet your thoughts, blocking any thoughts out, any outside noise, any outside stress. Just slowing down and absorbing and breathing. Now this time is completely yours. And I'd like you to challenge yourself to take this time to slow down and be present. Hold in your Shavasana as long as you're able to. If you've got the time, if you have it, take it. And just be present there for as long as you'd like. But if you'd like to come back, deepen your breath. Deep inhales, slow exhales. Finding any movements, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Maybe stretching your arms long overhead. And then rolling onto one side, into a fetal position. And gently pressing your way up into a comfortable seat right here, just as we began our practice. Your eyes are closed, your hands can rest on your thighs or maybe come to your heart. Gentle tuck of the chin, bowing to yourself. Thank you so much for being here, giving yourself the gift of this time. From my heart to yours, namaste.